Hello, I'm Andrew Covey, and I'm here to talk about wind turbines. The idea has been around for quite some time, from sailboats as they used the power of the wind to project them forward, to now as we use it for electricity from massive wind turbines. Wind turbines was called windmills as we still call them today, but not for their uses, but only for decorations. Dating back to 200 BC, they used the windmills in China for pumping water from the ground to drink, but not just for human consumption, but also for their livestock and for even watering their plant life. Middle East used them for food production in the 11th century. Homesteaders in America used them for cutting wood, grinding grain, pumping water when electricity until late 1800s to early 1900s. They used them while used. Um, the common sail on a windmill was made of wood lattice framework. The sailcloth can be adjusted for the amount of power it needs to be generated and also depends on how much wind there is to be utilized. This picture is a Dutch style which is very popular in the style of windmills. Sails that was used on windmills was patented by the inventor William Cubitt in 1807. The American inventor Daniel Halliday was from Connecticut. He patented the first commercial viable windmill, Halliday's self-governing windmill. Daniel was a machinist, inventor, and a businessman. Halliday's design of a windmill was one of a kind by creating a windmill that would change according to the direction of the wind automatically. The windmill was approximately 10 feet and the operation lasted about 6 months before a hand had to touch it. This diagram shows the engineering of a windmill that was used strictly for grinding grain. The blades, also called sails, are angled rather than a propeller of an airplane so the wind can catch the sails. Blades are connected to a drive shaft. One millstone is fixed in a position and the other caused to rotate. When the drive shaft rotates, the grain is poured through the hole in the revolving millstone and grinds the grain into flour. The most common windmill use an aerating windmill, one that compresses or pumps air when the head turns, and compressed air from the windmill diagram or bellows system goes into a submersible well pump or a floating surface pump, and the pressurized pump pushes water out the exit line towards the surface or towards the holding tank. As you can see that the wind turbines are getting bigger by the increasing technology in the field of wind turbines. Wind turbines are growing exponentially and no sign of slowing down. Sea Titan 10 megawatt wind turbine is designed by American Engineering Technologies Company, AMSC. It is currently the biggest wind turbine in the world. It's a direct drive turbine. The design incorporates a high temperature superconductor HTS generator with a speed of 10 RPMs, making it much smaller and lighter than a conventional wind turbine generator. The new GE Halley's X turbine is an industry's first. It's the most powerful offshore wind turbine in the world to date. This massive 12 megawatt capacity, world's first, 220 meter rotor with a blade that is designed by LM Wind Power and digital capabilities, which is 107 meters long, almost 3 times the size of a Statue of Liberty. This shows what a wind turbine consists of. The wind turns the blades that is connected to the low-speed shaft that turns the high-speed shaft to charge the generator where the energy is collected for use. Wind turbines swivel according to the direction of the wind. Turbines also shut off automatically when the wind speeds get too high, and that's what the anemometer is for. This graph shows the installments of wind turbines, with Texas being the leader by a huge margin. This is just the top states. There are more states that have installed turbines. The industry is growing every year and no signs of slowing down. It is the way of the future of utilizing the resources of the power of the wind. Texas is the leading U.S. producer of both crude oil and natural gas. In 2017, the state accounted for 37% of the nation's crude oil production and 24% of the market natural gas production. January 2018, the 29 petroleum refineries in Texas were able to process more than 5.7 million barrels of crude oil per day and accounted for 31% of the nation's refining capacity. Texas leads the nation in wind turbine generation and produced 1/4 of all the U.S. wind-powered electricity in 2017. Wind turbines in Texas produce more electricity than both of the state's nuclear power plants. In Colorado, wind energy increased from 1.5% to 17.3% electricity in 2016. Colorado was the country's seventh largest wind producing state, accounting for more than 4% of the wind generation in the country. In 2014, Colorado wind manufacturing and operations jobs total over 6,000. In Kansas, wind turbines have more than tripled to 4,451 megawatts, which makes Kansas in the top 5 in the nation. Kansas is ranked second in the wind energy potential and 874 megawatts of additional wind projects underway. A target has been set for 20% by 2020, with a strong interest of expanding the use of both large and small scale wind energy. Wind turbines play an important role in Kansas being the center of the nation with the greatest wind energy activity. Oklahoma ranks number 2 in the nation for installed wind turbines. According to American Wind Energy Association, approximately 2.3 million homes will be powered by 3,736 wind turbines in Oklahoma. There are a range of sizes in Oklahoma from 100 kilowatt turbines that stands 156 feet to the powerful Vestas V126 turbines that stands 500 feet tall and can produce 3.3 megawatts of power each. The wind energy is the lowest cost of new electricity generation, which helps keep utility low and stable. Iowa supported 7,000 to 8,000 jobs in 2016, and landowners that hosted wind turbines were provided millions of revenue. Iowa can build and sell wind energy to other states, increasing economic development and job opportunities. Iowa was the first state to generate more than 30% electricity from wind. In 2018, California wind projects generated 14,078 gigawatt hours of electricity. Wind power in California will avoid 7.8 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to taking 1.7 million cars off the road. The state's wind power grown by nearly 350% since 2001, when it was less than 1,700 megawatts. Between 150 to 200 acres of the total 22,000 acres will be taken by the turbines. Owners are paid royalty of the land at $5,000 per turbine. Wind farms pay property tax, which the school district will start receiving $300,000 a year. At Twine Grove's wind farm is 398 megawatts. This site produces enough power to power about 120,000 homes. Jackson County in Minnesota received $1.6 million per year in tax revenue from wind energy since 2012. They host about 600 megawatts of energy from wind and use it towards the residents to relieve tax burdens and support capital improvements. In 2014, wind energy supplied about 16% of electricity generated in Minnesota. The state is in the top 10 in the nation for generating energy from wind. Wind power in Oregon in 2018 was 3,383 megawatts of capacity. 44 operating facilities, additional capacity proposed of 2,147 megawatts. Sites range from 1.6 to 300 megawatts. 13 largest facilities make up 69% of the total capacity, and 15 facilities representing 590 megawatts came online in 2009. Oregon ranked 8th in the nation. Oregon's biggest wind farms is seeking for bigger wind turbines. Bigger wind turbines equal fewer turbines to produce same amount of power. On May 8, 2016, Germany had so much renewable energy that they paid their customers for consuming energy. The wind turbines were supercharged. Wind turbines has always been a part of humanity. From windmills that pump water and grind grain, wind turbines that produce a massive amounts of electricity that can supply millions with electricity. Turbines is the way of the future. As technology increases, so will the power of the wind turbines. More power within one wind turbine, the fewer turbines is needed. Wind turbines can put back what is being drawn out and is eco-friendly. 500 homes can utilize the energy being produced by one large wind turbine.